Something right now. My name is Steve Gilpin, and you want to know why America would like us on Flip This House. See, I teach for a living. That's what I do. We teach on premises. We teach New York real estate, tri-state area. We wrote our own books about profit labbing and in profiting. So one day my brother comes to me one night after I was teaching really late, and you can take a look at the classroom here. We have huge theater seating, and this is what we do in New York City. So my brother calls me up one night after work, after teaching all day, just like now, we're just finishing up teaching. So that actually might be Jeff now, and all. So Jeff calls me up one day and says to me, do you know this guru based out of Connecticut? He was doing this show in real estate in our hotel, the Hilton Hotel in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And he started saying, could you do this in real estate? And then he says to me, because we were estranged for a couple of years, he then turns around and says to me, isn't this what you do? And I said, well, yeah, I teach this. I've been teaching it for about 20 years. So why don't you, bro, come up to New York City and take one of my classes, and I'll teach you real estate. And don't learn from the guru. Let me teach you in theory. So he did. He brought his friend Kevin. So we have the characters here. Okay, and let me show you a little bit more about these characters. Okay, so you have Steve Gilpin, New York City guy, who's nothing but, lives in New York City, breathes New York City. And then you have Kevin, who rather instead of work, who's a pig farmer now, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you a little bit about Kevin. See, Kevin was working with me on a project and doing some work on my house for me. And see, Kevin decided, this was just in May. So Kevin decided that he didn't want to work, but he'd rather go out turkey hunting. We're not talking Thanksgiving, getting a live turkey, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking May 5th. Okay? So Kevin rather be out there hunting. So these guys are characters. They're from Pennsylvania. I'm a New York City boy and all that. Grew up in New York City and lived and worked in New York City. And I do real estate and I teach it. Kevin grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania. Kevin's motivation is to have a pig on his job site so that he can be motivated. So when Kevin's working, he has to be able to look outside to get motivation by a pig. Now, whatever causes you motivation, that's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, when a New York City boy has to carry a pig around, that's funny. Okay? So we have this pig. We've now turned it into a statue. So whenever Kevin comes in town, even with class, we have a pig in class. Okay? And it literally is a statue of a pig. He's motivated by pig. So let me tell you a little bit about Jeffrey now. Jeffrey, backwoods boy, farm boy from Pennsylvania. The only thing Jeffrey cares about is money. The problem with Jeffrey in his education side of it, and he's my brother, he's licensed, he's a structural engineer, and he has theory and training in the background. But see, Jeffrey overspends. When you tell Jeffrey you only can spend $28,000, Jeffrey will turn around and say, you can't do it for $28, it's going to cost you $48. So now we buy this house. He has a $28,000 budget. I'll bet you the American people, he goes way over budget. So you're going to see the farm boy and the big brother and little brother, and I'm the little brother, he's my older brother. You're going to see him and I go at it over budget and cost, which we always do. Now, so Jeff is a farm boy. He works with Hilton Corporation as a chief engineer. But see, in Pennsylvania, they have laws. Let me just put it this way. Duck Dynasty has nothing on my brother. My brother is Duck Dynasty. Gunswinging person carries his gun. Okay? New York City boy doesn't know about that, and doesn't get along with that, and doesn't even like guns, and doesn't even believe in guns. But Duck Dynasty has nothing on my brother. So ladies and gentlemen, that's why America would like us. Think about it.